Передаємо серйозну історичного значення новину, що цього тижня міністр освіти провінції Онтаріо Стівен Лечей проголосив обов'язковим включенням історії Голодомору в навчальну програму для 10 класу в Онтаріо. Проголошення відбулося в українській цілоденній школі святого Димитрія в Етобіко.
Minister Lecce, we welcome you back to our school. Our students, parish, and community have gotten to know you well since you became Minister of Education, especially since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, which began in February of 2022. I want everyone here to understand the leadership role you personally played in making sure that the children who came from Ukraine could learn safely and get settled quickly into Ontario's school system. In fact, the very next day after Russia invaded, you called me to ask me what you could do as minister. To our school alone, we have welcomed over 200 students from Ukraine, almost doubling our school population in a year. Today we're here to hear from you, Minister Lecce, about a significant announcement that you will have a lasting impact not only on our Ukrainian community, but also on all students in Ontario.
We're here on the 90th anniversary of the Holodomor, and we pay tribute to the millions of people who died by starvation due to the hands of an extreme, brutal ideology of communism under the administration of dictator Joseph Stalin. This terror famine against the Ukrainian people was an act of genocide, and it is our duty as Canadians to ensure we remember it. And as our principal said, I'm not sure, and I will agree, that many non-Ukrainians truly understand the scale of barbarity that took place against Ukrainian people, free people, children, innocent lives. We know that millions of people, 7 million people, perished at the hands of extremism, at communism. And so to stand up for our values in the denouncement of barbarity, to stand up for democracy, and to educate young people on the perils of communism and extreme ideology that undermines the human dignity of every single person. Today, I am very proud to announce that Ontario will mandate, for the first time in our country's history, mandatory learning on the Holodomor within Ontario's curriculum, so that all kids learn from history to never be bystanders in the face of evil. We will educate young people on the perils of communism and the extreme ideology that has plagued so many people then and still today. And we will educate young people about the civic duty as Canadians, as we just learned on the amazing Holodomor bus, of disinformation and misinformation, the propaganda that was advanced then and now by the evil empire. This is learning that will safeguard our democracy. It will ensure we remain a free society. And learning about the Holodomor is an amazing opportunity for young people to appreciate that this was 90 years ago. And in the room today, we have Holodomor survivors. And so we owe it to them in the torch of remembrance that in you, the young people who are with us today, that their memories, their stories will carry on in your hearts, in our minds. And I have a great sense of optimism what is possible through education. It is the greatest weapon against hate. Now, the Canada-Ukraine Foundation has the amazing Holodomor awareness bus. I was just on that bus with these young kids asking some very inquisitive, tough questions. And I want to say that this bus is providing knowledge and education for thousands of kids. And our government is proud today to announce a $400,000 investment to continue to ensure that bus gets into the most remote parts of Ontario so that all kids, particularly non-Ukrainian kids, learn about the Holodomor. And so we're proud to fund this amazing mobile classroom to support thousands of kids across Ontario. We're proud to dedicate curriculum, mandatory learning on the Holodomor. We're proud to stand up for our values as Canadians in defense of democracy over tyranny. And we are proud today. And I just want to express my ultimate gratitude to the people of Ukraine, in this country, Ukrainian Canadians, who have demonstrated why they have the resilience and the determination to never give up. So, Slava Ukraini. Thank you so much.
We just heard Minister Lecce announce that the Ontario government has mandated the study of the 1932-1933 Holodomor, a man-made famine orchestrated by the Soviet regime in Ukraine 90 years ago, to be included in the grade 10 Canadian history course beginning in September of 2025. This is momentous news for the Ukrainian Canadian community that has lobbied tirelessly to make this brutal campaign of Joseph Stalin against Ukrainian identity and existence that has claimed millions of lives known to the world. On behalf of the Canada-Ukraine Foundation, I am deeply grateful to the Government of Ontario for announcing $400,000 in support of the continuation of the Holodomor National Awareness Tour and the Holodomor Mobile Classroom, which will reinforce the curriculum. Since 2014, the bus has gone from Vancouver Island to Newfoundland. We have had 70,000 people come through the bus, and we've lectured to 500 schools. It has been a real journey, and it will now be able to continue on because of the generous donation from the government.
I'm sure there are teachers in here who could say that, it's a struggle every year to complete the curriculum in its entirety. The same goes for high school curriculum. I'm wondering what will be removed from the grade 10 history curriculum in order to be able to give this ample time.
You know what? We're adding this as a new mandatory expectation. The curriculum that will be developed is going to take into account that there's limited time in a day, but we do believe this is a priority. And kids need to learn about their history if we're not doomed to repeat it. So Holodomor education, frankly, is civic education. It's democratic education. It's human rights education. So we believe it's important. Today we're making the announcement. The work will begin. It has already begun in the ministry to revise the curriculum. And of course, I'd be open to feedback from educators on how to find that graceful balance. But we want to dedicate time to this. I want kids to really understand that just in the century before, for our parents or grandparents, great-grandparents, for some of these kids, that this happened. And that being bystanders could lead to the death of millions of innocent people.